I can hear you.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Good morning. I'm going to get us started in just a minute.
This is the very, this is what, very last stuff. Hand sanitizer thingy.
Oh, that thing was, yeah, let's keep that. That thing was not cheap.
Okay.
It was pretty cool, but I gotta find the replacement stuff.
And I think it's like
These are
Blade Airway.
Yeah.
We don't have any plugged in anywhere.
Yeah, I know, because a lot of people can't handle its scents. So yeah, I would get rid of them. I don't think we need them, or put them out free to a good home. See if anybody wants them. Not these guys, probably.
This one's so strong.
Yeah.
You know what's cool? And she got a pine smell one.
Christmas. Me too. That's what I do. I get like the pine smelling candles and it does. That's awesome.
We have 2 Bonas and a Swift. Do we need all of those mops?
No, I mean, no, whatever you use or need. Yeah, get rid of the Swiffer.
Okay, and I can get rid of all of those Swifters. I'll put it out for free in case people have Swifters.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm purging. Purge. Good morning, everybody online. Can you guys hear me?
Good morning, Tina. I can hear you. It's Belinda.
Thank you. Good morning. All right, I'm going to share my screen. So today we're going to go over KVCore with a focus on listings. And listing marketing and all things listings and sellers. And there is so much in here. So what I'm also going to do is in the beginning of February, I'm going to do an intro to KVCore training class again, because I realized we have people that have come on and joined since we originally did all the KVCore launch and overview of KVCore. So I'm going to do the beginning of February to line up with Buffini. I'm going to do kind of a beginning, like getting in and using it in, putting in your database, working with segmenting your database, those sorts of things, so that kind of you guys have that beginning overview also of KVCore. And then what I do each month is I usually put 1 or 2 trainings on the schedule that are topic specific. So that I did, because there is literally so much in KVCore. There's no way I can teach it all in one training class. So I break it all up and do different things. So I think last month I did KVCore social. On my YouTube channel, I have uploaded a lot of the videos of those KVCore trainings that I've done. So if you guys are interested in watching any of those past training classes, you can find them on my YouTube channel as well. So to jump in, and if you don't currently have KVCore, then, just follow along. You'll be able to see everything that's in here and decide maybe it's something that you want to add for yourself. So KVCore is both our website system and for the front for your clients, and the back end CRM system. So it gives you both of those tools, the front end and the back end. No, you're fine. Good morning. Pay no attention to this exit logo in the top corner. I just have to reach out to them and get them to change it. That's only in the back end on your view of the CRM. You're not going to see it anywhere else. The exit Results Realty logo. Everything else has been rebranded to Hyatt and Company on the front side. So that's important to note. You guys just have to make sure, if you had this before we switched to Hyatt and Company, that you've updated your profile details to Hyatt and Company and your own, like your email signature block and those sorts of things. And that I taught in the transition marketing class last month, I think. So once you're in KVCore and your database is in here, one of the first things that I wanted to show you that's a really great tool for marketing, prospecting for listings from your current database of past buyers or current homeowners is the listing valuation tool. So to find that, you're going to go into your contacts. So when I go into my contacts, and I'm just going to search for a contact to show you what this tool looks like and how it looks when your clients get it. So if I pull up a contact, this is my best friend forever. And so they bought a house years, like 2020, I guess now. And this is why the power of this tool is so incredible, is because you can go in here on the right-hand side. So I'm just in a contact record right now. On the right-hand side, you'll notice there's some different tools and options that you have. You can set up search alerts.
Shoes on your feet, Ma. Go get your shoes.
You can set up search alerts if they're looking for a property. You can send them out market reports. So these market reports you can send to your database specific to the area that they currently live in or the area that they want to live in. So you can decide if they're an active buyer currently looking, then set them up on a market report for where they're looking to buy. If they've already bought or they're a past client or a friend or family member, I would set them up on a market report for the area that they currently live in, right? So that they see what's going on in the market. Yes. No, go for it. Which half do you want? Okay. Yeah. Nope, that's fine. But the one that I want to show you guys, the listing valuation tool that I want to show you is over here on the right-hand side. When you scroll down all the way at the bottom, you'll see listing valuation. And you're probably going to have just the add button because you may not have one set up already. When you click add, it's going to ask you to put in their street address for the listing, the property that you want to send them listing valuations for. So guys, this is a great, great prospecting tool where you don't even have to prospect really. The auto email goes out every month for you based on their property, their street address, and it's prospecting for you automatically. And because it's about them, right? People like stuff that is about them. Most people are very egocentric. So because it's specifically about their house, I mean, this is going to become like an addiction. I've heard of people telling me that this little listing valuation email that they get once a month is like, it's like they can't wait for it to come. They wait for it to come. And as soon as it comes, they're clicking. Yeah. Yep. So it's the same tool. I know, it's awesome, right? We're realtors. Like we can pull this stuff up ourselves, but I can't wait until my own listing valuation email comes over. I don't know why. It's so goofy. So this is a very, very similar tool as what the lenders use to send you those listing update valuations. So when you set it up, and I'd recommend putting yourself in here with your own address and set it up for yourself so you can see what it looks like. But I can show you, I'm going to show you Swinton Way view. So this is what the actual email looks like when it comes across to your client. So it's got the logo at the top. It's got their address. It says, the subject line says their street address, latest estimated value for, and their name. And then it's got their home value estimate. They can click get your home in front of active buyers today. When they click get started, that comes to you. So you get an alert that they've requested listing information about listing their property. You can see it's got the market report in there also. So it's going to tell her in her zip code, here's what's going on. So 71 homes went up for sale in the last 30 days. That's an 11% drop, almost 12% drop from the previous month. And then it breaks it down, average days on the market, new to the market, average home price. It gives her listings for sale. So other listings for sale in her area, solds and recently listeds. And then when she clicks on any of these, it's going to take her to your website specifically. So if you have people that bought houses 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? 2019, 2020, those property values are crazy. They've gone up so much. They bought this house in 2020, just to give you an idea, 2020 for $650,000. They have potentially almost $300,000 equity gain in their property since they bought it in 2020. Do you think that's valuable information to them? If they're thinking about upsizing, moving, selling, anything like that, even just refinancing, it is. But the purpose is it puts something in their mailbox from you, their email box from you every single month, right? That's about them. Cassie.
I was gonna say for those people that are like in Buffini, and I didn't think yesterday, every time I attend, I use the class to clean up my data.
Yeah.
And I start new marketing things and stuff like this. So because I already have a database built, I just always use that class to clean it up and to readjust. So for those that may be taking that time, a typical study.
Nice. Yep. That's awesome. Thank you. So Cassie said she uses Buffini as a reason to clean up her database and set up new marketing tools that go out to her database. So this is maybe one of those that she would set up. So I just wanted to show you guys that because this is a listing class. It's not just about the listing presentation and the listing marketing tools. That is a tool that you can use for current homeowners for prospecting for listings, right? Especially for your buyers that were first-time home buyers or move-up buyers that moved into a house that they didn't intend to be there forever, right? So make sure you're at least utilizing that tool. So, and what I recommend, you can see here, notice the market reports goes out every 28 days and the listing valuation goes out every month also, but I have them on different schedules. So I would recommend that you don't set them both up on the same day to go out at the same time. So the listing valuation report went out on the 13th, January 13th, but the market report, the market update email goes out on the 2nd, January 2nd, it went out. So they got something from me twice a month, 2 weeks apart. So they're getting touches from me through email every other month. And it shows you, you can see here, she opened it when she opened it that day, almost as soon, well, a couple hours after it went out. So it's a nice, it's nice that you can track the opens also and see what they're opening.
Is she really getting 3 touches because she's getting your newsletter too, right?
Yes. So if she's getting my email newsletter, then yes, she's getting multiple touches from me. Yep. So yes. And if, but that's 3 times a month. So yeah, just make sure you know what that schedule looks like. Her birthday. So she got a birthday email from me. So that went out to her on her birthday. So these are the tools that you can utilize in marketing to your database. Okay. So now I want to jump over to the listing part of it. So I'm on the dashboard, the KVCore dashboard. You'll notice in here, just real quick, a quick reminder, because they have moved it. The quick actions or quick links that used to be at the top of KVCore now have moved over to Company Cloud. So when you're in here at your dashboard and you're looking for our office specific links, you can click on Company Cloud and you'll see in here, here's the Google Agent Resource Drive, the monthly Google training calendar, the link to my YouTube channel for training videos, .loop MLS, and then the link to this virtual training room that you guys are in right now. So they moved that over to Company Cloud, just so you guys know where that is. So the first thing I want to go over is your presentations. So talking specifically about your listing presentations. So you'll notice, and we'll go to promoting your listings after we do the listing presentation portion. but let me find where it is. Yeah, core present. So if you go to marketing, marketing will take you to all of the key marketing sections in KVCore. So you'll notice you've got smart campaigns, you've got listing machine, core listing machine, which for my former exit agents, this is the old exit expert marketing suite, expert listing marketing suite. So it's very, very similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar. This is where you're going to find your boosted listing ads built for you, your property flyers, your social media content. And I'm going to show you that in particular. Core social is your social media marketing, which I taught at a different class. Core present are your presentations. So I'm going to show you that. The design center is your pre-built social media posts, flyers, postcards, those sorts of things that are already built in the library of marketing assets for you. You can also upload your own content or upload your own designs into there as well. So if you're looking to create something specific, you can upload your own designs. So what we're going to go to for today is the presentations. So core present. So if you click get started, it's going to take you into core present. It used to be called core present. Now they've rebranded everything to bold trail. So that's why things have moved around. So if you used to remember, you knew where this was before and now you can't find it. Now you know why. So when I go to present, core present, you'll see I have a lot of different options here. I've got the seller presentation. So these are my listing presentations. Then I have buyer presentations. So I have a buyer presentation. Some of these are brand new that I haven't even played around with yet. But buyer tour and win the offer. And then general presentations for anybody. So the one I'm going to focus on today is the sellers. When I teach another class down the road in February, maybe we'll go into some of these other presentations. But listing presentations, this tool, guys, is unbelievable. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on start. And the first thing, if you notice up here at the top, part of their listing presentation actually integrates your CMA right into your listing presentation. And it's a live data CMA. So if you guys remember the old way we used to do CMA, or a lot of us are still doing them this way. It's not the old way, but the other way to do the CMA is you go into Bright MLS, you pull all your data, you do a CMA and build your CMA in MLS, and then you print it out maybe, or save it as a PDF, however you present. And then you take it in as a separate chunk of data, right? You take it in as a separate presentation. So you're going to do your listing presentation. And then when you get to talking about your CMA and your values, then you're going to go into your CMA. This actually builds your CMA and integrates it right into your digital listing presentation. So this is a digital listing presentation. So you can present it on a smart screen, on a device, on an iPad, however you want to present it digitally. And or you can print it as an actual really nice printout that you can coil bind or put into a box, or however you're going to, a folder, and leave it behind as a leave behind. So when I go in here, I'm going to start with the address. So let's just start with 310 Greenlow Road in Catonsville. So this is in Academy Heights. So I'm going to put in my address. And notice first I'm building my CMA, then I create my presentation, and then I present and share. So I'm going to hit next. And it's going to drop a pinpoint for that property for me. So now I can edit my details. So I know that this property has 3 baths. You got to do your research, right? Just like when you go to MLS and to do a CMA, you've already researched your subject property. So you know beds, baths, square footage, those sorts of things. So same thing. So total baths, it's 2 full baths. I think it's 1073, about 1,000 square feet, built in, let's just say 1954. So there's my details, right? Now down here, I'm going to hit next, comparable details. So notice what it's doing for me. It's automatically putting in a radius. It's automatically pulling in actives, coming soons, pendings, and solds. But up here, I can edit that criteria. So notice it's showing me solds in the last 6 months, which is perfect, right? Because that's what we usually use when we go to Bright MLS anyway. 6 months of comps is usually what we talk about. My radius. So in Academy Heights or in Catonsville, it's pretty densely populated, right? A lot of houses pretty close together. So I'm going to narrow my radius because chances are this radius may even take me over the line into Baltimore City. So I'm going to stick with my 1/2 mile radius first and see what kind of comps it pulls up for me. Academy Heights is a very specific neighborhood, right? So you can even ditch your radius and you can draw your area. So for example, just like on the MLS, I know Academy Heights is a very specific neighborhood, different from all the surrounding neighborhoods because of their deed restrictions. So I can go in and I can draw my search area specific to Academy Heights, and I can only look at properties in Academy Heights. So notice only one. Oh no, that's my subject property. So there's nothing in here in Academy Heights in 6 months. So I might want to go back a little bit farther. So I can change over here on the left, I can change my details as well. So it's only looking at 2 baths. So maybe I want to take that out, or maybe I want to expand it to 3 baths. I can do 3 to 5 baths or 3 to 4 baths. It didn't pull up any other properties, right? I can take that out. Wow, it's still only pulling that up. My beds, I don't want to change that. It's not a single family. So maybe there's my issue, right? These are row houses. So really look at your options on the left-hand side. It's not a single family, it's a townhouse. So I'm going to change it to townhouse. I'm not going to do lot size. I'm going to do a range. So I'm going to go back a little bit farther, 1950, and I'm going to go only to 1960 because I know that's the range of when houses were built in this neighborhood. And I need to change my close date. So 6 months, I'm going to go back a year and see if anything popped up. Houses aren't selling very much in this neighborhood. So I'm going to go back a little bit further, right? So now here we are. So now I have 2 sold comps. So here's one sold comp on Stratford, and here's this on Small Court, which is not actually part of Academy Heights. So it's up to you guys how you want to handle your comps, right? If you want to go further out or if you want to go bigger time period, to use a radius, whatever you might want to do. I'm going to stick with this for now for the purposes of showing you guys how to do your presentation. So now I'm going to click next, build my CMA. So here's what I have. I have some comps in my area. So I'm going to hit next, build my CMA. Here we go. Okay. Well, it didn't pull in my comps. You have to catch up anyway. Okay, good. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit previous and I'm going to go in here. I'm going to change this. I'm going to reset this. Reset. And I'm going to stick with my 1/2 mile radius. Okay, so that gave me some comps. Why is it still not showing them? Sorry, bear with me. Oh, that's why, because I have to add it to my comps. So when you click on the comp that's in your radius, you see these pop up here. You can actually click on more info to see if that is a viable comp for your subject property. So this one's an end unit. So I'm going to accept it, even though mine's an interior, just because I want to show you guys how to build your report, right? So I'm going to click add to comps. I'm going to add this one to my comps also. So now I have 2 comps in there, 2 sold comps, right? So now I'm going to go to next build CMA. So now when I go to build CMA, it's going to pull in those two comps that I added. So you can sort through. Just because it pops them up in your radius doesn't mean all of them are automatically pulled into your CMA report. So now what I'm looking at is my subject properties that I pulled into my CMA. So here's the first one on Stratford, 352. Here's the other one on Small Court, 359. It's showing me the average of the closed comps is 355. Price range change, price per square foot. Half of closed comparables took less than 4 days on the market, so that's pretty awesome. So now what I'm going to do is you can either just save your CMA and it will just create and save a CMA for you, or I can go up here and I can click on create presentation. So because we're doing create presentation, I'm going to click create presentation. So now it's building my listing presentation and it's embedding my CMA report into my listing presentation. So here's my build presentation screen. Up here at the top, presentation settings, you'll notice a couple different things. You can change your emphasis. So how the slides are sorted based on which one you choose, right? The other one is, so in here, make me list, I'm shopping for you. So those are, obviously that's how the presentation is going to be geared. I mean, I'm shopping you. And then the theme. So I can pick my theme. I usually like to pick the luxury theme. It's nice, right? I like the luxury. It changes the typeface. It gives it that, luxury marbled background to it. If you pick modern, so you can scroll through and you can see it changes the typeface, the border, the layout. So it depends on who your clients are, right? Or you and how you want to portray and present your business. Yeah. Yeah. On the CMA. Oh, mode. Got it. Yep. Okay. Thank you. I was like, wait, where is that? So what he's talking about in mode, you can go to presentation mode that you're building an entire presentation. You can go to CMA mode where it's just your CMA that you built. So it's only for like a couple slides. Single page review is a one-shot, a one-sheeter. So it sums up everything all in one sheet. So if you're somebody that does the listing cards, right, and you have your card presentation, do you do the listing cards, Hamid?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. In the box, you do that presentation. So then, yeah, the one sheeter, the single page review would be really good for you because you could print that and then either laminate it or just take it as a, to go along with your cards that you're presenting. If I go to presentation though, I'm just going to show you guys the presentation. So I can edit what these look like, each of these. So for example, maybe I don't want RD, I want it to actually say road, right? So when I click on the pencil, it lets me change that text and then I can hit apply. I can change these details below that if I wanted to. I can even change it to add an image. So if I want to add a photo of that specific property, I can do that. So, and it's as simple as Googling the street address. Because remember, this isn't something we're using for marketing. So are you guys lagging? Can you hear me online?
I can hear.
Okay. So since you're not using this for marketing purposes, you can use old MLS images. You can use Google images that pop up. So just make sure it's the right property, right? That you're not pulling up the wrong property. So I'm not really seeing a 310 Greenlow. I see all of the others around it. So you can either pull one down off of the old MLS, or if you're not finding an image, if you go back, one of the easiest things to do, if I go to Street View, Google Street View, there's my property, right? So then what I can do is I can actually screenshot or screen print my Google image right there, my Google Earth image. And then I can actually create my image if I want something for my marketing straight from that screenshot. So here's my screenshot. I'm going to crop it in, right, just to my subject property. It's confusing to look at when you've got all this stuff on your screen. I know, I'm like, wait, which is the screen? Which is the screenshot? So I can crop it in, and then there's my photo from Google Earth, right? And then I hit done. So then I can come back over to my report. I know. Don't judge me. And now I'm going to select a file, and I'm going to find that screenshot from my computer. Desktop, screenshot. And there's my photo, use photo. And there's my report, right? That looks kind of cool, huh? All from Google Earth Images. So I didn't even have a photo of the property. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. It's up to you. You can always change it back right here by clicking. I don't think you can. You would have to recrop it probably before you upload it. I would have to recrop it. Say that again.
So I just did one. And on the page, section 4 of 5, marketing and buyer activity. In the first
Oh.
line, it says online engagement with exit results.
Oh, instead of Hyatt and Company. Yeah, I gotta get that fixed. All right, I'm gonna have to reach out. I'll reach out. I'll chat with them today and get that fixed. So you could even use, if you wanted a large Hyatt and Company logo, you could do that. If you wanted that background of Hyatt and Company. So it's up to you how you want your presentation. If you have your own logo, oh, you could even do this, guys. So, think out of the box for the cover of your listing presentation, right? If you don't like the photo of that subject property to use, or you don't have one, if I click on image again, same spot cover option. If I click on image again, it'll let me change that image to another image. So if I go to select a file, you could even do, for example, if you've created your own signature block. Oh, wow, that doesn't look great. That didn't turn out as well as I thought it would. So yeah, I think what you're going to have to do is, so here it is. This is why. So I'd have to go back into Canva and change my size of my image to fit those pixels. So it's 1920 by 790, or an aspect ratio of 17:7. So if I go back into Canva and I modify my size of my image to those pixels, then it'll work much better. I don't think I have a smaller. It does. Yeah, the Hyatt and Company logo fit well. So if I put logo, and you could even do the horizontal logo. Oh, nope, no, not that one. Not that one. I love that. We listen, but we don't judge. So anyway, I don't want to dwell on this too long, but I wanted you guys to have an idea of some of the different things you can use on the cover of your, I'm going to change it back to this one. CMA report. So this one fit really well. This one looks really nice, how they fade it in. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Maybe you have your own logo that you've created and you want to brand your own logo, because Hyatt and Company is also down here in the far right corner. But you could create your own branded look to the front to match the branded look of your social media posts, your open house posts, whatever you're using as your common branded theme for yourself. Maybe brand your listing presentation to match it, so that now everything is coordinated, right? So when people see you on social media, they're seeing the same branded look that they're seeing on your presentations, your listing, your buyer, your flyers, all of those things. So really think bigger picture like that, in that you really want to coordinate everything so that you have this really nice, consistently branded package for yourself. So, so that's our cover image. So then on the left-hand side, you can flip through these slides. So why am I the right fit? So this slide is the value of an agent. So it talks about why working with an agent is a good idea. You can decide which of these slides you want in your report. So you literally can customize and build out your entire report. So the What's My Home Worth, the CMA one, if you guys follow the rule of thumb that I typically teach, when do you do the CMA? When do you present the CMA in your listing presentation? Beginning, middle, or end? No, end. End, yes. Because what happens when you sit down to do a listing presentation and I say, hi, Steve, you know, thanks so much for having me out today. We take a tour of the house, we build some rapport, whatever. Fantastic. Now let's sit down and talk about how I'm going to market and sell your property. Okay. So we sit down, and depending on his personality type, he's gonna, if I go right into, I open it up and I talk about why am I the right fit, or, you know, thank you for giving myself and Hyatt and Company an opportunity to talk to you about listing your home. I'm really excited to talk to you about this. Are you sold on using an agent? Is that pretty much you've decided you're definitely going to use an agent? Yep, I'm definitely going to use an agent. I totally get, you know, the value of an agent. That's great. Fantastic. Let's jump into the presentation. And I go right to the CMA and I start to talk about the estimated value of your property that I've come up with. If you had in your mind a different value, if you don't like my value, it's too low, somebody else told you something different or higher, your neighbor, your dad, your best friend, everybody else told you more money, what's happening to the rest of my presentation? La, 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 I can't hear you. I'm done. I've checked out. No matter what you say from that point on, I've gotten a chip on my shoulder now, so to speak, that I'm not happy with what you've just told me. So you should always, and if somebody else has a different philosophy on this, please bring it. I'd love to hear it. But I've always taught you do the value at the end. And you don't even hand out the value page when you start to do you go over the presentation. Like I would not ever hand out this presentation, or if I do the cards, the presentation cards in the box type of presentation, I would never hand out the CMA at the same time that I'm handing out and going over this or the cards, right? I don't give them their folder for them to follow along, because what's happening? What are they searching for? No, flipping right
Value.
to find the dollar value. Exactly. So again, everything I'm saying is wah, 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 wah. They're not listening to me. So you want their undivided attention while you're doing the body of your presentation. You want to sell them on why they should be working with you, or why you might decide to work with them, right? Depending on how you present your presentation. Is this you interviewing them or them interviewing you? But the pricing, the value, the CMAs should go all the way at the end of your presentation. So notice over here on the right, I can actually click and hold down my mouse, and I can drag these sections of my CMA to wherever I want to put them. So if it put your What Is My Home Worth up here all the way at the top like it did mine, I'm going to move it all the way down here to where I want it. And then marketing and buyer activity, I'm going to move that up, right? Because this talks about the value of marketing the property and attracting buyers and why that's important, right? And then maybe I'm going to go over the market analysis. What's the market like? What's the market like where they're selling a home? See how it's building to this crescendo, right? Like I'm selling them all the way up until I get to the price section. Please don't also forget the importance of the pre-listing interview or pre-listing conversation. So if somebody calls you and asks you to come out and and that they're thinking about, they want to sell their house, right? Steve called me, he was referred to me by somebody, and he wants me to come out and talk to him about possibly listing his and Liz's house because they're thinking about moving and upsizing or whatever, downsizing. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, Tina, this is Steve Rogers. I was referred to you by Dennis Bentley. He mentioned that I should reach out to you about listing our house. We're thinking, my wife and I are thinking about selling our house, and we're talking to a couple different agents, and I'd love to set an appointment with you. Most agents do what? Right. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much. Yes, Steve, I would love to. When would you like me to come out? What's a good day and time that works for you and Liz? Play along with me, Cass.
So,
Friday, great. Does 2 a.m. No, that doesn't work for me. Does, right. Yeah. Does 10 a.m. work for you, or would 12 be better? Perfect. Noon sounds great. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you then, right? That's what most agents do when they set a listing appointment. What I want you guys doing, absolutely, Cassie, I would love to come out and talk to you about listing your house. Can I ask you just a couple of questions to get some information so I can be better prepared for our appointment? Wonderful. How long have you lived in the house? 7 years. That's great. What made you decide or think about selling right now?
we just, want a little bit more space. Business.
Sure, absolutely. I understand that. Listen, when you sell, where do you plan on going? Okay.
Stay in the same area, but we just need more.
Fantastic.
To a single.
Okay.
If that helps you.
Yep. So upsizing, absolutely. And I can give you some information about that part of the process when I come as well, if you'd like. So listen, have you talked to anybody, or do you have an idea in mind of how much you think your home might be worth?
No,
Okay, great. No, that's fantastic. Fair enough. And then can you just give me any ideas of updates, improvements, things like that you've made since you purchased the house that'll help me in coming up with an estimated market value?
yeah. In 2023.
Right.
Windows in 2023 as well. We did do a new washer and dryer, couple new appliances, but we didn't do much to it. We just, the biggest thing was
Great. Yep. Well, that definitely helps in adding value for sure. So wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate all of that information. Is there anything else I should know? Are you meeting with any other agents to interview?
Dennis, said that you were amazing. We really just would rather go with someone that he knows. A bunch of strangers in the house. We just want to get this thing sold so we can.
Fantastic. Great. Well, let's do this. Let's set that time and date. What works better for you? I have Friday at 9, or I have Thursday at 2. Great. I will see you then. Thanks so much, Cassie. Bye-bye. Click. Right? Sending Dennis a referral gift as we speak. No, but I mean, is that a different phone call than saying, absolutely, Ginny, I would love to, when works for you, right? So now I'm going into that listing presentation empowered with information, right? I know a lot of different things. I know, because if she had said to me, yeah, Tina, we've done some online research. We went to Zillow, right? We know the Zestimate. So we think our house is probably worth around $465,000. Is that important for me to know going into the listing presentation? 100%, right? Because now I know I need to be prepared mentally to have that conversation about the Zestimate and what a Zestimate is and what it isn't, right? And how that's probably going to be very different from her home's current market value. But if I have no idea that she has this number of 465 in her head, and I come in with an estimate based on comps of 385, do you think I'm setting myself up for failure? Absolutely, because I didn't even know that I was setting myself up for failure because I didn't ask the right questions up front. So take a minute, get out a piece of paper, take some notes, right? I asked where she's going next, so I know what her plan is, what the goal is, so I can be prepared with information to help her on the whole process. This is what the process of selling and buying looks like, because we're not just talking about selling in a bubble of listing her house. No, there's a lot of other things in consideration to think about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was like, well, as soon as I stop, I'll send the text between you. She was like, nah, just wait, we'll talk until you stop and you can give me the number. And like, she got all, I was like, Michelle, I told you, I'm calling you back with the information, like. She
Yeah.
did not get off the phone until.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That I really, even if I meet someone and they'll say, like, my license plate says D5B Realtor, and they say, oh, are you a realtor? I won't just give out somebody's card. I'll make sure that I jot their number down, and put it in my phone.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna use your card. But that's
Yep.
like, it's, she's a beast.
Yeah. And if you guys have, thank you, Cassie. If you guys have Popple, the Popple mobile business card, if somebody asks you for your business card and you share it with them, either they scan the QR code on your app or you click send or share, a lot like the old Exit mobile business cards, it captures their contact information as a contact at the same time. So when they click to request and share your Popple business card, you're capturing their phone number and their contact information also in your Popple system, and you can add them to your contacts. So that's another great way to kind of sneakily get their contact information too, or not so sneakily. You can just tell them, when you download mine, I'll get your contact information at the same time. There was something I was going to add to that and I just totally forgot. Getting there. So we did the phone call, right? If Cassie had said to me, oh yeah, yes, actually we're meeting with 2 other realtors. We're interviewing 3 total. What should I be asking? Yes. When are those other interviews? And if you don't mind me asking, what companies are they with? Right? Because that gives me a whole nother amount of information that I need walking into this interview, right? So when are those interviews and what companies are? Because if they are meeting with Redfin, do I know what kind of conversation I have to have? Do I know what this conversation is going to go like? Yes. For my experienced agents that have gone up or know about Redfin, they're going to ask about rebates, right? She's going to ask me, do you offer a seller rebate? I talk to, or I, whatever. So when I go in, I'm going to know that Redfin's already talked to her about that, because I'm going to talk to you about the order of the interviews. What's that? Oh, so who she's interviewing or who they're interviewing is important. And then the order of the interviews. Now, everybody has a different take on this. Some people say, no, I want to be first. I want to get in there because I don't even want them to have the chance to meet with the other agents. So they want to get in and they're going for that signature at that interview, which is great. If you're that confident and you want to come in hot like that, go for it. Your goal is to walk out of that interview with a signed listing agreement. And the way that conversation, because if I have an S sitting across the table in that interview and I'm the first interview and it's an S personality type, oh, well, Hamid, that was fantastic. That was wonderful. And yes, I'd really love to go with you. And Hamid's going to say, fantastic. Would you like to, how about we go ahead and take a look at the listing agreement now? I happen to bring one with me. We can take a look at it and decide when you want to go active. That S personality is going to say what? Yes. Well, I would love to, but I would feel terrible canceling on those other agents. They've done preparation work and, I would just feel horrible. I would feel horrible canceling those appointments on them. I really want to give them that chance to come in and present what they've prepared. But I'll call you right after those appointments, right? So they're going to feel really bad about canceling. Here's what I would say. You know what, Cassie, I totally get it. I completely understand. I know both of those agents pretty well. It's a small industry. Listen, I have no problem giving them a call for you. I'll just give them a call. I'll let them know that I'm listing it. And that chances are they probably have buyers that are going to be interested in your property. So I'm going to let them know when we're going active, when our marketing and our tours are going to start, so that they can get a jump start on bringing in their buyers. How does that sound? Right? Did I just resolve her issue of hurting their feelings, right?
Wow.
Took
Wow.
all of that off of her shoulders to feel really guilty about. If it's a D personality type and we hit it off and they loved it, they're going to sign right there. They're calling and canceling, or they're texting and canceling. I's, I need to get that I locked in and signed, because as soon as I leave there, they're going to forget everything I said to them. And then it's the next shiny object that comes in is going to be the one that draws their attention, right? My C's are very thorough. So when you're talking to that listing on the phone, try to figure out what personality type they are. Are they an S? Are they a D? Are they an I? Or are they a C? Because I's are impetuous. They can make fast decisions, right? Because shiny object, who's in front of me right now. So you may not, if you're first, if you're last with an I or a D, you may not even get your opportunity to do your listing presentation. If you're an S or a C, if you're talking to an S or a C, chances are you're definitely going to get your chance at the end, because they're going to want to hear from everybody. The C is going to want all the information, all the plans, all the research, right? The S is going to want to give everybody their their chance. They don't want to hurt feelings. So if I'm talking to an S or a C, chances are I want to go in at the very end and I want to present last. If I'm talking to a D or an I, and I feel really good about my presentation skills, I'm presenting first, I'm taking a listing agreement, and I'm walking out with it signed. I'm not leaving until they sign it. Make sense? So really think that through. Pay attention to the person. You can even ask questions in that pre-listing interview that will help you figure out what personality type they are. So Cassie, can you just tell me what's most important to you about this listing process and about selling your home and moving into the next house? How much money she makes? What personality type is she? A D, right? All day, every day. If Hamid, what's most important to you about selling your house and the process of moving into the next house? Okay. What personality type? D, right? I want somebody to say something. Jenny, what's most important to you about selling your house right now and then the process of moving to the next house?
I want to make sure it gets to a nice family and
Thank you.
get to where I can get
A nice house, and that your house sells to a nice family. That sounds fantastic. And that's a very valuable goal, right? What personality type? S, all day S. Thank you for playing along with me. So listen, right? How they answer that question. If it's about money, speed, time, get it done as fast as possible. We want to get to our next house. We've outgrown this one. It's driving me insane. I'm about to lose my mind. D, all day D. If it's about feelings, emotion, the kids, I want to do it at the right time so the kids, go from one school to the next school and it's in a smooth transition for them. S, right? My C's, well, I just want to make sure that we do it right, that we take our time, that we don't rush into anything, but that the whole process is done and done right on the right timeline, that we've got all the right information, and that we really research where we're going to research, guys. C, right? My I's, about it. I don't know. I don't know where I want to go yet, so I don't know. My I personality type, right? But then how I time my interview, when I go to do the interview, the type of interview that I do, or the type of presentation that I do, guys, that pre-listing appointment interview is crucial. Because if I have a D or an I and I walk in prepared to go through statistics and market values and why you should list with me and CMA report, I'm checked out. They're gone, right? I lost them at hi, how are you? So I need to be succinct, shorter, straight to the fact, straight to the point, ask the questions. What's most important to you? What do you hope to get out of this conversation today? How can I resolve any questions or concerns you have about listing and selling your house with me and Hyatt and Company Real Estate? And then I'm only addressing what those Ds said to me. So if it's about money and time, I want to sell it fast. I want to get the most money I can get out of it so we can move on to our next home. Great. Let's talk about that. And then I go straight to those points, right? I'm not, guys, please don't do it. I've seen so many agents crash and burn on listing presentations because they didn't read the room. They didn't understand the client that was sitting across the table from them and communicate to them the way they needed to be communicated to. If you're a D or an I and you're talking to a C or an S, you damn sight better slow down, talk slower, talk softer, go through all the details that they want you to go through. But when you go into a listing presentation and you sit down, before you start kind of word vomiting all over them, right? Which a lot of us do. We just throw out all of our stuff and hope that something is important to them. Slow it down. Take a minute. Take out your notebook. Ginny, I really want to make sure that this presentation today answers and attends to all of your concerns or questions you have about listing and selling your house and moving on to the next house. So can you give me the top 3 or 4 things that you're concerned about or that you want to take away from our conversation today that's important to you, right? And then I'm writing them down. And if she has a spouse or significant other that is a seller with her, I'm asking that person too. Hamid, I've heard from Ginny. She may have some things very different than what is, important to you. What are your top 3 or 4 important things you hope I'm going to address today, right? And I'm writing them down. Because if I just talk to Ginny on the phone and right, I don't know his personality type yet, maybe, but by asking the top 3 or 4 things that are important to him, if he talks to me about making the most money off of it that we can possibly make so that we can move to the next house that we want to buy and getting it done, easy, time, fast. I just want to get it done and be moving on to the next house. Great. I know that she's an S and he's a D, because what do we know about like versus like? Do likes attract or do opposites attract? Opposites, right? So if I have a spouses or partners or whatever, chances are I have 2 completely different personality types that I'm talking to in my presentation. So I have to address both. So I have to address and resolve all of her concerns as the S, because if I don't, and I just hit it off with, because I'm a D and I hit it off with him because he's a D and I nailed it. I walk out of there, nailed it. He loved me. She might be in a puddle of tears because she feels like she wasn't paid attention to. None of her concerns were addressed. I just steamrolled right over her and I lost the listing, because in the household, who's the primary decision maker when it comes to selling the house or buying the house? The female. Guys, I hate to say it, but it's the female. So even if I didn't get that in the pre-listing interview, who their personality types are, when I slow down the start of my presentation and I ask them what's important to them, right? It's that whole concept. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth, because we're supposed to be doing twice as much listening, half as much talking. Listen to what their concerns are, and then gear your entire conversation of your presentation to their concerns, right? To resolving and answering their questions. Because then at the end of my presentation, then I get to say to them, Ginny, Hamid, did I address all of your concerns today? Did I answer every question and concern that you had about this process and make you feel good about moving forward with listing your house? And if they both say yes, then great, fantastic. How about we start talking about the listing agreement and getting rolling and how that timeline might look? Now I went from presenting to signing the listing paperwork, right? And I'm not leaving without it. Make sense? But if she says or he says, well, I still have a little bit of a reservation about a couple. Great, let's talk about them. What are those reservations? Or what did I not answer or resolve for you? And then you're just going to keep going until you get to that. Yes, you answered all my questions. I feel really good. Fantastic. Now let's talk about the listing agreement and the listing timeline. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Right, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
For the D is just, that's such that.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they living?
It was their mother's house.
Oh, that's tough. Estate sales are tough.
All most, the eye has all this emotion. The house is still full. The mother died in November and
Yeah.
they want to rent it. And I'm like, you can't even agree to list this house and empty it. How are you gonna agree? to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, right. Now you're gonna be landlords. That's great.
And usually you can find a small, if you can find a small spot, you can probably.
Nice, I already do.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Meeting them on Saturdays.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, but like, if you're really, really authentic with a deed, they will
Mhm.
let something slip, they'll let something come out, but you gotta listen, you can't over the talk,
Yeah.
deed, right? You may have to, like whatever kind of stuff may go in it. Maybe, recommend to them, be like, well, we get the antique shop to come in and she,
Mhm.
to walk through and.
Or a storage unit,
Yeah,
if taking your time to go through the
that-
belongings are important.
And not have them
Yeah.
actually move the baby be a pod, so all they have to do is move once, and then
Mhm.
the pod will, or whatever, but she probably like, you're just trying to erase my mom already, or stuff like that, we had that one.
Yeah, that's your SI. Yeah.
The one
Set
wants,
aside
wants the
some
money.
proceeds for
and the other one-
Yeah.
A year or two.
Take your time to go through stuff. Yeah. Storage unit. Yeah. And you can even help with coordinating a mover to come in and move everything. You have a great recommendation on your team of a very trustworthy mover that'll take very good care of all of mom's belongings. We'll move it to a storage unit that will give you the time to go through it and process this at your own speed, right? Separate the belongings from the house. And yeah, that might help. So back to the listing presentation. So that was my little side training. We took a little tangent there, but back to the listing presentation. So now when I get into some of these tabs, notice, I love this presentation because it automatically pulls this data for you. So it's showing you the number of buyers looking for homes in their area based on low to high. So they're kind of in this mid-range of buyers looking for homes in their particular area, right? The next one, this is the tab that Cassie was talking about. This is the funnel, and this is what I have to get KVCore to change, or I got to figure out how to change it. This is the buyer funnel. So the marketing activity, and I love this tab, this part to your presentation. And so Hamid, this I would recommend if you're only keeping, you could incorporate this into your cards, but you would have to change this one every time because this battles that agent that comes in and says, and we've had agents lose listing presentations to this agent that says, you know what? If you list for me, I have 5 buyers right now looking for a house in your exact neighborhood. I have no doubt that I will get it sold in a day or days, right? Yeah, that's what I have to get changed. Where it says exit results. I don't know. I have to look and see if I can manually change that tab. I think it pulls because this tab auto pulls this data out of our KVCore CRM. So because they still have us listed as exit results, that's what I have to figure out. So I'm going to look into that and try to get that resolved ASAP. But if you figure out how to do it yourself, let me know.
Yeah.
It's pulling from our KVCore system. So what it's pulling right now is online engagements with our website for buyers looking for a house in that area. And then it's funneling it down. So then it says we have online engagements, 1,252 near Greenlow Road. Then it funnels it even more. Out of those 3943 and 1252, we have 369 online engagements on our website. for houses near 310 Greenlow Road, around $334,000 price range. So do I have buyer interest in your home? Absolutely, Ms. Seller. I have over 369 buyers looking for a house exactly like yours, in exactly the same area, in exactly the same price range. Not only that, on the right-hand side over here, this is showing you actual buyers that are in our CRM right now, whether in my pipeline or one of my colleagues' CRM pipelines, that are looking for homes just like yours, actively searching. So do I have a buyer for your property? You better believe I do. And if I don't, then one of the over 90 agents in our brokerage already has a buyer looking for a home just like yours. So I have no doubt your home will sell, and it will sell very quickly. So that's your argument, guys, to that agent that comes in and says, oh, I have buyers for me looking for a house just like yours already that I'm working with. Well, yeah, so do we. Guys, are you working with Zillow buyers every day? Zillow buyers that are looking all over the state of Maryland for homes in every price range? Yes. So do you have, or does an agent in our brokerage have a buyer looking in Catonsville in this similar price range? I can guarantee you unequivocally, you can say yes, because I'm sure we absolutely do. And not only that, not only just me saying it, KVCore says it also, and KVCore shows it. Okay. So that's powerful data, guys. That's very powerful information. Now we get into, so that's the market. So then we go to the market analysis. So this is where it's pulling that market analysis information. I don't know why it's not pulling the average price range, but it's showing us the selling pace. So properties are taking less than 4 days on the market, 6% rate of change, price rate. So this means average rate of change between listed and recorded price of sold comps. This is their homes are selling 6% over list price, right? So this is that argument for the Redfin seller that says, oh, well, Redfin says they're going to give me a rebate on my house, or they're going to give me this, or I only have to pay 1% commission or whatever. Mr. Seller, right now, homes in your area on average are selling at 6% over list price. So that's telling you that if we list at market value, that there's a high chance of probability that I will be able to negotiate and get you over list price, possibly as much as 6% over list price. I've talked to you about only paying 3% compensation to me as the listing agent, and that you have the choice to negotiate your buyer agent compensation, whether you pay it or how much you pay. If I can get you 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6% over list price, and you've only agreed that you have to pay me, my brokerage, the 3% for everything I've told you I'm going to do to market and sell your house, I'm still netting you positive over your list price. Does that sound important and valuable to you? Would you be willing to pay out of the money I'm getting you, possibly over list price, a portion of that back to me as compensation? Right? So they're still netting zero. So in theory, Jenny, I'm netting you out zero compensation, right? If I can get you 3% over list price based on what I'm telling you is going on in your market right now. So I get you 103% of your list price. If I'm able to do that, you're net zero. So you're not paying a dime in compensation out of your list price proceeds, right? That is the reality of being able to get over list price, that we're not making stuff up. We're not selling them a ball of goods, right? This is the reality of it. If I can get you over list price, every percentage over list price I get you reduces the amount of compensation you're paying out of your list price. And then it talks about where buyers come from, right? Why it's important to price it correctly and how we're going to draw more buyers. So this is that psychology of listing your property and the 3 ways of listing your property: below market value, at market value, and over market value, and what that does to your buyer pool and to the demand for your property, right? So this outlines that in a picture format. And then we get into our CMA. The cool thing I like about the CMA is versus the MLS CMA and the way we do the MLS CMA reports, when I'm presenting, it's live CMA data. So I can actually click on it. I can show them while I'm doing my presentation. So if I go to present and share, and I show you what the presentation actually looks like, I can show you how awesome this tab is. So if I go all the way back to my okay, so here's my CMA, right? This doesn't look that great right now, but if I go in here and I click and I say, so Mr. Seller, here are the comps that I found similar to your property. The first one is 312 Small Court. Here is what that property looked like, and here's what it looks like inside, right? Because this is important to think about when we're talking about pricing your property. How do the kitchens look? How do the baths look, right? Because we know buyers buy based on most likely kitchens and baths. That's the biggest selling point of a home. So that's really going to impact your value of your property. So here is this property's kitchen, just to give you an idea. So you can mentally compare when we get to talking about your price point that I believe your home could sell at. Here's the next one. This is Stratford Road. Both of these are end units, so we do have to account for the fact that both of these are end units. This one, they modified that wall to open up the kitchen dining room area. Is this valuable, guys? Is this next level from coming in with a paper CMA report that we printed out off of the MLS? 100%. We just leveled up our game because I can show them in real time what that property looked like. Not only that, we can read the remarks, so we can read about the property, what was updated, what was replaced. So now when they say to me, well, that one sold for $352 and $359, why can't mine sell for $352 or $359? Well, let's talk a little bit about it, right? Notice the kitchens and baths. Notice that they've replaced windows and shades and their awning on the front. And so, yeah, I mean, this helps build that conversation for you, but it's live. The other cool thing about this is when I go in, if in the meantime, something in my CMA area has changed. So if I had on here a pending, and by the time I go do my listing presentation, it's closed, it will automatically update this to the closed for me in my presentation. So when I go into my presentation, before I go to present, you'll notice it saves them down here for me. See where it says update? So on this one, the win the listing for Greenlow Road that I did back on December 2nd, if I created it on December 2nd and we got delayed, pushed back for whatever reason, I can click update and it's automatically updating the comps in my area for me. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So now these are live. So now I'm ready to go. I just click skip to presentation and I'm ready to present and share again. I don't have to go back through this and recreate it. I don't have to go back and pull all new comps again. So that's your listing presentation. The last tab, you can edit some of this information so you can customize it for yourself. But you can see it's a really nice branded professional presentation. Easy to create. I mean, once you create it and you figure out how to do it, it's so easy. It takes you no time at all. The other thing you can do in your presentation, you can add in additional slides. So if I go back into my presentation, for example, on the left-hand side, you'll see where it was, what's my home worth and market and buyer activity, for example. If I click on any one of these areas, I can add a greeting video. So if you created a seller listing showcase video. Oh, this is the Zillow.
Did you know there's an exclusive listing experience
did
that can
this.
help your home stand out on Zillow? Introducing Showcase Listings. Only available to a limited number of agents in an area. Showcase
Zillow
Listings have a
listing
unique
showcase video. So we are a Zillow listing showcase partner in the office, which means for your listings, if you choose to, you can sign up. You have to pay for it, but depending on whether you get the first one or you don't get the first one, we get one every month at the locked in discounted rate, which is like, do you know what it is? It's like $350. Okay. $350 for Zillow showcase listing. Ruth Ann can tell you all about this. If you want more information about it, reach out to her.
Yeah.
Is it? Sweet, right now? Okay, so half off of,
It's like 270.
okay. Wow, that's awesome. So it's Zillow, it has to be a Zillow approved photographer because the photography has to meet their standards. They make your property. So those of that been in the business for a little while, Jenny, you might remember the old Zillow showcase listings. So you as a listing agent or as an agent, you could sign up for, and you paid to be a showcase agent, showcase listing agent. It's a similar concept, but we had to be approved to be able to offer this to our clients. So there is a video, so you can embed this video into your listing presentation. That's basically what I did here. I could move that slide to someplace else in my presentation if I wanted to. But this is the greeting video. So if you have a video and you want to open it with a greeting video, that's what mine is. You can do that as well. So yeah, so you're gonna go to, so it's custom order. I think I added a slide. So when you go in here, you can click add slides. So this value of an agent, that slide looks different. So each section has a different, so up here at the top, it's showing you each section of your presentation. So you can click through it, like here's market analysis. It's under the introduction. I've already picked it, or all slides. You can go to all slides, but it's the greeting video. So if I remove that, I don't want to remove it because I don't want to lose it, but it's under introduction, Hamid, and it should be the greeting video slide. Do you see it? When you go to add a slide, are you in the add slide section?
I don't see.
Go down to one of the next sections. Go to buy my red agent. Go click add slide. Up at the top, click introduction. No slides to show. Hit go to all slides. Sorry, guys, I was just trying to find how to get the greeting video slide in there, and I can't figure it out. It's not on Hamid's. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna work on that. Let me make a note to myself.
I do have a question, Tina.
Yes, sorry, thank you. What's up?
What do you think about this being like you're going on a listing presentation or interview, and it's for someone who's not yet ready to list? But would this be helpful?
I think so. I think it's still helpful. I think you're definitely going to change your conversation a little bit, and you're going to, it's all in how you present it. So some of the things you're not going to go through in their entirety. You're going to be that appointment, I think, is more, the value of that is more for rapport building, establishing what their goals are and their timeline, and figuring out when they're ready. And then this is, okay, so here's some things to think about for that timeline that you're thinking about. So if they're thinking about spring market, let's talk about the market that's different in the spring versus right now, right? And the potential buyer pool possibly, but also the inventory, right? There's more inventory on the market in the spring market. A lot of sellers think, oh, there's more buyers, so I'm going to list spring market, but so do all the other sellers that are waiting for spring market. So you get more inventory flooded, right? Or are they thinking about summer? So why are they waiting? Really kind of getting to the bottom of that. And then you might figure out that, oh, well, the reasons that they're waiting, I might be able to talk them into listing earlier, or it might be more to their benefit to list earlier. And we're going to talk to that.
Okay. One thing I do know is they just started to do improvements and upgrades. So
Okay.
as far as doing it early, I don't know how early they would be finished doing the upgrades they're looking into doing.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense.
So yeah, I just wanted to know if this would kind of like give them more of an idea, when the actual time comes of what to look for or even think about that they may want to incorporate in their, desired list.
Okay. Got it. Makes sense. Yeah. So, I mean, if they're not yet ready, and remember, you can sign a listing agreement now that doesn't go on the market on the MLS. I mean, you can only sign a 1-year agreement, but if they're going to be ready in a month or two, I don't want it to dangle out there and wait. I want to go in, I want to do my listing presentation. I want to get my listing agreement signed. And then I'm going to be following up with them on their timeline. How's it looking? How are things going? Do you need any help with anything? Do you need any contractor referrals? This is what that timeline looks like. If you think you're going to be done your repairs by this date, I would love to have the photographer ready to come in on this date to get the photos done. I'm going to get the signpost installed that week. The panel's going to go up. Here's our timeline, right? Is that I want to be proactive with that, but I want to get that listing agreement locked in now. So I would still be doing, if I know they're a potential listing, I'm doing the listing presentation now. I'm talking about that marketing time of the, if we're looking at March, April, May, talking about what goes on in April and May in the market, what that market looks like versus January, February market, right? Because it's very different. And then I'm talking about, okay, here's the next steps. First thing we do is get the listing agreement signed. That way I can begin to schedule all these things that we want to get scheduled, the photographer, the signpost install, all those things. So I would go in with the goal and the intention of signing that listing agreement now. The last thing, because here's what happens, guys, and Hamid, I found the link, so I'll show you in just a second. October and photos are today. Yep.
And I had a conversation with today, how when the snow is coming, it's cold, when we're gonna be finished.
Yeah. Yeah, because yes. Yeah. Did you hear that, Bertina? It also pushes them. So what they said was it pushes them a little bit more to stay on their timeline and to get things done. Cassie has a listing agreement she signed in October that the photography's today. It's going active next week. The signpost got installed this week, but she signed the listing agreement in October.
Okay.
Here's what happens when people decide they're going to list their house and they start making updates or whatever. What do they start doing to everybody and everybody they know?
Talking about
We're listing the house. We're selling the house. We're getting things done. The contractor's in today. We're getting the carpet replaced and we're painting. And oh my gosh, we're listing the house. And they're talking to everybody who knows what? A realtor, right? Everybody and their brother knows a realtor. Oh, I got a guy. I got the best realtor out there. You got to call my realtor. Now, I don't know who this person is to you, but you want a preemptive strike on that. You want to shut that down. So, oh, you know what? I appreciate that, but we actually have a realtor. We're already listed. She's amazing. She's already got us signed up for, the photography's already scheduled. She's doing this whole Zillow showcase listing thing so that we're going to get prime feature on Zillow. Like, that sounds incredible, right? So you want to be locked and loaded now.
Okay.
I don't want to wait until they just, they're done all that stuff to do the listing agreement. I may not get the chance at that point to do the listing agreement with them.
Okay.
So I found it. So going back to in your presentation, I'm just going to go back in to the screen that you're on, Hamid. So skip to presentation. So when I'm in my presentation, so the question was, how do I get a video added to my presentation, a greeting video like I had on mine? So notice I don't have it here on this one. So I'm going to hit present and share. Once I'm done everything, I've updated everything, I'm ready to go. Present and share. When I get to present and share, there's a couple things, so we hadn't gotten here yet. A couple cool things in here. First of all, I can add a listing agreement link. So if I have my listing agreement on Dotloop and I have that link, I can get that link. I can add that listing link in here. So when I get to the end of the presentation on the last page, I click to open the listing agreement. And now I'm going straight to the listing agreement and we're starting to talk about the listing agreement, right? I can add a net sheet in here. I can add a video link. So here's where I add that video link and it adds it as the first slide preceding the title slide. And then it can be seamlessly played during the presentation. So you click add video link and here's where you add that video URL. So it has to be housed out on YouTube or someplace else, Google Drive, wherever it's housed. Yes, the showcase list, Zillow showcase listing video. And so have a feeling it's probably on my YouTube channel, but Ruth Ann, I'm sure also has the link to it if you can't find it. And you can embed it if you're doing, that's for the Zillow showcase listings. Or if you create your own listing video, introduction video of yourself talking about, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to be sitting here with you today. Here's a little bit about myself. Maybe it's your intro bio or whatever you want it to be, right? You could put that in there as well. You can download and print it. Here's the link to copy it. So yeah, there's your presentation. I can do open preview. And now I'm ready to go in and do my presentation, right? So here it is, and I can start to go through my presentation. Make sense? So that's the core listing. The last piece of this, because I know that took a lot of time. I'm going to go back to my KVCore dashboard to marketing. The only other thing I did want to show you was listing machine. The other place you can find this is in your listings. So on the left-hand side, if I go to listings and I go to my listings, I don't have any listings because I don't carry listings, but I do have company listings. So if I go to the company listings, I can show you. So when you list a property in the MLS, it automatically pulls that into KVCore. So these are all active MLS listings that have been pulled into KVCore. So in here, I can go into any one of these. And in that listing, there's a couple different things I can do. Notice where it says enhance description. This is the listing overview description that I put into the MLS. I can enhance or change it the way that it shows up on my website. This does not change it in the MLS, but it does change the way it shows up on my website. So for those agents that are getting in your listing agreements, buyer agent compensation agreed to, right? If you're doing 6% listing comp and they're sharing 2.5% of it with a buyer agent and you want that advertised out there, you can advertise it on your website, right? So I could do enhanced description and now I can go in here and I can edit my listing description. Or if I want to say buyer agents welcome, buyer agents protected, buyer agents respect, whatever you want to say, right? Or you could put in there, seller offering 2.5% buyer agent compensation. If it's in your listing agreement, you just can't put it in bright. Yep, but you can put it on your own website. So this is where you would do that under the enhanced description option. The other thing I can do is I can enhance media. So if I have a virtual tour link, if you do the showcase, Zillow showcase listings, they give you like the Matterport tour and the video link. You can put those in here as well. I could put the virtual tour link, I could put the video link and link them all in here. So I can edit all of these features in the enhanced description option. I can go in, so it shows you the map feature. It shows you, this is where it pulls matching buyers. So this is a cool feature. Matching buyers, these are just matching buyers in your CRM. So your listing, you can actually match it to your matching buyers that you have in your CRM that have search alerts set up for a property like this. So whether it's your Zillow buyers, your Zillow nurtures, your CRM buyers, I can actually go in and I can see who matches this listing that's in my database. It does. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So then on the right-hand side, this is see boost property. This is where I can do my boosted ads on social media for my listing. Under more actions, I can, email it out to everybody that has a hashtag Glen Burnie so if you have people set up and you have hashtagged where they're searching, or I can email it out to hashtag sphere of influence, hashtag A buyers, hashtag A or A plus for your Buffini client databases. You can email it out or text it out to anybody. You can generate a QR code for your listing, a print flyer. You can post it to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Craigslist, all of those sorts of things, right? So if I go into, and then up at the top, so listing promotion. So if I click on listing promotion, here's where I can create all my marketing assets. Nothing's been created yet. Nick is not using this. I'm gonna have to have a conversation. I'm kidding, but I can click quick create. When I click quick create, choose the kit that you want to create. Just listed, coming soon, open house, price reduced, just sold. I'm going to do just listed. And I can do the default kit or the new listing kit. Hit create assets. Assets are being created. Okay. Or I can go into the design center and create my own custom assets if I wanted to. So it's creating my assets. Let me refresh, see if they're there yet. But it's going to create marketing collateral for you for your listing. Not yet. Still waiting. But here's flyers. If I click in, I can look at all the different property flyers I can choose between. So I can pick a property flyer
So you can
to print. You can, so you could, you can print them. They have a relationship with this expressdocs.com or whatever, and there's a 20% discount code for printing them. So they do have a connection, you know, something that you can connect with to print your flyers. So if you wanted like the luxury flyers or luxury brochures, you could do that and order the printing and have them delivered to you or to your listing, whatever you wanted to do for that. Or you can print them yourself. Yeah, you can download the PDF and print them yourself. So if I go back into the listing promotion, I go to flyers, I click on this one. So it's creating it based on what was entered into the MLS. I can add a QR code by clicking that button and it'll create a QR code. That QR code will take them right to wherever I want them to go. So either to my website, or it could take them to, if you have a listing virtual tour housed somewhere, it could take them to the virtual tour. You can put in there what you want to put in there. You can change out these photos. So see, they're all three the same photos. That's kind of corny. So I'm going to do swap image. And then it's going to have, well, this is why it doesn't have all the MLS photos yet. If all the MLS photos were loaded, it would pull them all up. But because they're not, I'm guessing it's coming soon. Yeah, coming soon status. So I picked a bad listing. But if all my MLS photos were loaded in there, it would pull all of those MLS photos in for me. So listing promotion, this one's just listed. flyers, listing promotion. It's going to pull it in based on the photos in the MLS. I can change them out. I can also change the status. So if I just want to create an open house flyer, I can change it to open house and it'll change the verbiage to open house. Eventually. I know. Okay, so there's my flyer. So see, it pulled in different images. That's because there were different images for it to choose from in the MLS. So if I click swap image, here's all the other images. Maybe I want this image as my cover photo, my big photo. So I can change that. I can crop it, edit it, move it around however I want. Save changes. There's my new flyer, right? The things that have a gray bar or gray block, you can edit those fields. So I could change this to land listing if I wanted to. I could take out the price if I wanted to take out the price. Maybe I don't want the price on my flyer. Right? I can change my details. The details it's going to pull from the MLS. So if the MLS has this much details and it trunks them down to this much detail, you're going to want to edit that, right? So there's one of your listing flyers. I could change this to open house. And it's going to change it to an open house flyer. But it's looking for open house details out on the MLS. So because it's linked to the MLS, if I do an open house flyer and I haven't said on the MLS that I'm doing an open house and scheduled it, it's not going to know how, it's not going to be able to find those details. So it should allow me to go in and custom edit those details. That's probably, yeah, no. So I would go in here and I would change this myself, right? And put in here Saturday, whatever. Make sense? Yep, the expert marketing suite from Exit. Yeah, it's very similar, very similar.
Yeah, it is.
It's more robust for sure. So Hamid, here's that print with Express Docs. So there's the first time there's a 20% code, or you can download it and you could use Vistaprint, Staples, any others, anywhere, or print them here in the office. So you could download this as a PDF and print them in the office on your office printer. Yep. So in addition to that, in the marketing suite, you'll notice it's got all of these other, yes, I want to exit. It's got door hangers, postcards, brochures. These are folded brochures, nicer brochures. So you fold them and, it's the nice, kind of like Promo Shop had, right? So if I click on this one, it's the 4-page 11x17 that folds in half. So I would definitely, these would be ones that I would definitely get ordered somewhere. Try to pick a nicer glossy paper stock. But that's what that is. This is the front. This is the back. Yep. And then I can go to the inside. Where's page? There it is, page 2. So page 2 is the inside of my brochure. And so you can customize the photos, change them out, and you have a really nice luxury brochure for your property. It has social media posts. So all of your content is in here for you. So here's the inside of my brochure. Yeah. Yeah. I did design in Canva a luxury brochure for Hyatt and Company. So if you want that Canva template, I'm happy to send that over to you. But it is the 4-page luxury brochure. It looks pretty, I think it looks pretty nice. They're not super cheap. Yeah, they're not super cheap. I would use like a Vistaprint or, Staples, FedEx, those are going to be the most expensive. A Vistaprint or Shutterfly, one of those is going to be a little bit less expensive. Canva's connection, I think, is through Shutterfly. I think it's Shutterfly or I think it's Shutterfly. So that's your listing marketing, guys. The listing promotion, or if you go into your marketing section, you have listing machine, which is all your automated listing marketing with all of your different assets. So pretty much the same place that we were just in. So yeah, any questions? Anything I can go over for you that I didn't go over? No? All right. Anybody online? Not for the
Thank you.
welcome. Is the transition
Yes.
marketing class recorded somewhere?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. So real quick, last piece, my YouTube channel. A lot of the classes are on my YouTube channel, and I have a private exit office folder that agents can link into, because some classes like today, when I talked commission percentages, right? I can't put this publicly out on my public YouTube channel now. It has to go in our private office channel. So if there's a channel, if there's a folder that you're not having, if you don't have access to it or you can't get to it through the link I shared in KVCore, then definitely reach out to me and I'll add you into it. But there's our top agent panel, marketing and your value proposition. There's listing marketing. Here's KVCore social, core listing machine. That was an older one that I taught. Here's KVCore system setup, intro to KVCore and system setup. I have not yet uploaded the transition class, but if I have that recording, I'll look for it and I can upload that as well.
So this is your YouTube channel,
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
owner and broker. Okay, so that's okay. 'Cause I went to YouTube but I didn't see that, I guess. Mhm.
Okay. Yep. So if you
I think I
search-
saw some older YouTube things that you had done. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. If you
So
search for
with this name, owner and broker, will bring up KVCore. Okay.
well, it'll bring up my channel. And then when you go to my channel, you'll be able to see, let me take this note and then, okay, you'll be able to see. So if I go to playlists, you'll see I have, exit results office trainings. And then I
Right.
have public exit result. Well, I got to change that. Wow. It's good. Hyatt and company office trainings. And then I have the public one. And then I have other stuff as well. But if you don't have access to one of my playlists, just let me know and I can shoot you the link or add you into it. All right.
All right.
So if you don't see the Hyatt and Company office trainings, let me know.
Okay.
Because it is unlisted. So I don't know how you get to see that. But you can subscribe to my channel also.
All right. Thank you, Tina.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
you.
No problem.
Bye. Thank you.